What's up, guys? Today we're kicking off 12 days of YouTube. That's right, I will be putting out a new YouTube video every single day for the next 12 days. So I do have some exciting stuff planned, but I'll talk more about that in a bit because we have to talk about my take on red stars. So I've been asked 86 times since I woke up this morning if I am for or against red stars, and the answer is, it's not that simple. I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. So I will go into more detail, of course, but I wanted to answer another question which I've been getting a lot recently, which is, why weren't you a part of the content creator video speaking out against red stars? So the short answer, they wanted to make a video about how red stars were a complete and total disaster, and I didn't feel that way. The long answer, they invited me, I explained my stance on red stars, they didn't follow up with me, I didn't follow up with them, no hard feelings on my end whatsoever, and that's that. However, I'm bringing this up because I wanted to clarify something that I miscommunicated on Reddit. So I left a comment saying that they excluded me from the video. So actually, that's a lie. It turns out I didn't know what the word excluded meant. So I thought excluded meant not included, as in I wasn't included in the video. Like, I wasn't in it. That's all I thought I was saying. Turns out excluded actually means denied inclusion or prevented inclusion. So please allow me to clarify, at no point did any of the other content creators tell me I couldn't be a part of it or anything like that. Yeah, that was just a misunderstanding on my end, so I'm sorry about anything that was miscommunicated. I apologize to any content creators who that statement may have portrayed in the wrong light. I was not trying to make it seem like they boxed me out of the project or anything like that. I just thought, well, if you're not included, you're excluded, and I wasn't included, so I was excluded. So, my apologies. That said, another major reason that I wanted to hold off on making a formal statement on red stars was because we've been expecting a blog post from Fox next, and I thought that it would have some new information, like selective application of red stars, or more opportunities to acquire red star orbs than we were previously aware of. And so, Fox Next posted their newest blog post, and we've just gotten word that there will be selective application of red stars and more opportunities to acquire red star orbs than we were previously aware of. So, before I elaborate on my thoughts on red stars, I want to emphasize something. You will hear me talk more about the positive aspects of red stars than the negatives. This is not because I don't understand the negatives, it's just because at this point I'm sure we've all heard the negatives 100 times each. So, I do want to touch on the negatives, so of course, number one, the big one, in the short term, Arena is now determined more by luck than skill or planning. This one's a no-brainer. All things being equal, if someone gets a few lucky red star pulls, they have a massive advantage over you in Arena. Arena is not supposed to be a measure of luck, it's supposed to be a measure of spending. No, I'm just kidding. It's supposed to be a measure of skill, planning, and resource investment, and also spending. Number two, in the short term, progression is now determined by RNG. Again, pretty straightforward. Your strongest characters are now determined largely by the luck of the orbs. Now, this won't be the case for that long, but it will be the case for longer than I'd prefer, which would be 0 days. And finally, my big issue with red stars, and I still think that this needs to be addressed. The power curve that they provide is dog shit. Imagine you're attacking into an identical team, except you have 0 red stars and the enemy has every character at 4 red stars. Otherwise, they're identical. Guess what? That's still an easy win for you. 20% stats is fairly easy to overcome. Now, imagine you're attacking into an identical team, except you have everyone at 5 red stars, and the enemy has everyone at 7 red stars. Guess what? You're screwed. You have almost no hope. They have 40% better stats across the board. In my opinion, this is a massive oversight. The current spread of power from red stars looks like this, and it needs to look like this. Alright, so we covered what sucks. Now we're going to talk about something hardly anyone is talking about, which is what's good about red stars. Now I'm sure there's someone out there frothing at the mouth to say, that's because there isn't anything good about red stars. And that person is crazy. First good thing about red stars, they are helping newer and free-to-play players with progression big time. So in a previous video talking about what I would fix, I urged Fox Next to show some more love to the free-to-play players. Red stars are fairly generous, you get them for free, and any one of them can offer a huge boost that allows you to 3-star a campaign node, a challenge, a flash event, etc. that you previously weren't able to. None of the current content is getting any tougher, but the players are getting a free big boost to get stronger, so it's a big win for them. Next, they offer a glimmer of hope for a lucky few free-to-play players. So previously, there was little hope for a free-to-play player to catch up to a whale in terms of raid scoring or arena rank. Now, any given red star orb can contain a big boost that will allow that player to see a big surge in performance, even though it's a very rare chance. But at least there's some hope. The main reason so many of the top alliances are against red stars is because, well, they're already on top. They're already winning in arena, they're already at the top of the raid season leaderboards. They don't want to see anything change, they're winning. Red stars only serve to allow a few lucky players to compete against them in spite of their spending. And don't get me wrong, I understand why that would bother them, but I think it's important for the little guy to have some hope. If we can have a lottery where no matter how hard you work, it's possible for one lucky person to just win a bunch of money and live a wealthier life than you purely due to chance, like, it's okay to have those really rare instances where they can have some hope. So ultimately, I support that. And finally, and this one I really like, red stars shake up the stale meta. So I'm seeing characters I haven't seen in Arena for a long time start to make reappearances thanks to red stars. Building teams around unconventional characters is part of the fun of a game like this, so I'm looking forward to more interesting matchups, more strategic gameplay, and more viability from some of the less common characters. Alright, and lastly, I want to address some of the silliness I've been hearing from people as they forecast the expected disaster as a result of red stars. Basically, people have been saying things that are just not true, so I want to address those. Fallacy number 1, red stars are the death of Marvel Strike Force. No. Fallacy number 2, now the entire game is a slot machine and the higher red stars win. No again. So synergy still accounts for a lot. The other day in Arena on stream, I faced a team that had much higher red stars. This team was 90,000 power above mine, and I beat them. Easily. Why? Because the Brotherhood is a broken team, but also because synergy and decision making still matter. Now, I understand the criticism. It's certainly possible that one super lucky individual gets just the perfect red star drops on a meta team and I just can't fight them. And how does that make me feel? I don't care. Why? Because that person got insanely lucky. Let them enjoy their moment in the spotlight for a few months tops until the meta shifts again and they're back doing what everyone else is doing. Anyone who isn't regularly getting rank 1 is already running into whale teams that they can't beat anyway. So at least now there's that small chance that you could get really, really good drops and you can stick it to the guy that outspends you 10 to 1. Fallacy number 3, all your hard work was for nothing if you don't get the right red stars. No. No, no, no. This game has always been about the progression of your entire roster. If I offered you your choice of any 7 red star character, you get to pick who, in exchange for rewinding your roster progress back 2 full months, would you do it? If you said yes, you're insane. This game is about a lot more than the arena. I've been working on my blasters for the Catalyst Challenge, my hand for the Relic event, my city characters for the Gold Challenge, my cosmic characters for the Cosmic Campaign and the Cosmic Lane and Alpha Raid, etc., etc., etc. So much of the content in this game is specialized, it's trait-based. There's no miracle character you get at 7 red stars and then suddenly you just waltz through all the content in the game. That's not going to happen. Fallacy number 4. What's the point if some new player can just get a good 7 red star drop? Okay, let's take a look at that. So Johnny Newbie just pulled a 7 red star vision. You know how much good that does him? Not much. He doesn't have his vision farmed to 7 star. He doesn't even have vision unlocked. In fact, he can't beat Mystic 3-9 to farm him either. And even if he could, it would take him a very long time. And he would also need the gold and the ability materials and the advanced basic catalysts and etc. All it would really do for him is give him a goal. Fallacy number 5. It'll take years to get a high red star character. Definitely not. It will take a few months before the average roster has enough red stars to reach this point, but there comes a point in the very foreseeable future where majority of the characters on your roster will have some amount of red stars. And when this happens, majority of your pulls will convert into elite red star orb fragments. Now, elite red star orbs are much better than the normal ones. They guarantee at least a 4 red star drop, and a 6 red star drop is only 1 in 40. Like, they're not terrible odds. The top prize, a 7 red star drop, is only 1 in 200. So it seems forever away now, but it gets closer exponentially. So you'll start off way far away, and once you start picking up some momentum, you'll start doing really well really quickly. So some of the more eager whales actually already have more than half of their roster already with some amount of red stars. So try to remember, we are getting at least like 10 red star orbs each week between the login calendar and Blitz. They've also mentioned plans to include more red star orbs, including elite red star orbs in a seasonal calendar. They're planning on adding milestones which reward them. And ultimately, the more red star orbs that the players can open, the sooner the big swings in power that they grant will level out. Now, there's no denying that this has caused some legitimate chaos in the short term, but I expect within a few months for things to be mostly equalized. Side note, this does not excuse the fact that this rollout was terrible. Introducing a change that causes this much imbalance, even if just for a few months, was a terrible decision. There were several ways to avoid this. My personal favorite so far has been the suggestion to limit red stars to just level 4 in Arena and Blitz for the first few months. You can use characters that have 7 red stars, but in Arena and Blitz specifically, they'd only receive the stat boosts of a 4 red star, just until things have actually had the time to even out. And it is not too late to implement this, Foxnext. Please implement a fix like this. It would go a long way. Fallacy number 6. Now you don't get to play the characters you want. You have to play the characters you get good red star drops for. No, for multiple reasons. As I mentioned earlier, majority of the content in this game is trait restricted, which means you end up using a large variety of your characters whether you want to or not. One of the reasons I postponed making this video until after we saw the blog post was because I suspected Foxnext had plans to allow us to selectively assign red stars at some point in the future, as this follows a trend established in several other mobile games. Well, I want to highlight this line from the blog. The red star system is a new way to improve your characters, and it is fundamentally different from other methods in that it's currently not possible to invest in a specific character directly. That's a direct quote, and the word currently is in italics. So that all but confirms it. I expect the chances to selectively assign red stars will be rare, but it seems that we will get the opportunity to designate characters to receive red stars to counteract having exceptionally bad luck. Now, before someone says well, I'll just give my meta team all the red stars. That's what everyone will do. I don't think you'll be able to manage that before the meta shifts. Unless you were hoarding whatever the item is that would allow you to designate red stars, and if you did that, you'll have operated at a disadvantage for a period of time to capitalize on dominating for a window of a few months before the meta shifts inevitably anyway, and you end up just pacing alongside everyone else again anyway, which, I mean, that seems fair to me. But alright, I've gone on long enough on this. I know many people have some passionate views on red stars. I certainly don't love them, and the rollout definitely could have been handled better, but I don't think that they're the apocalypse that some people believe them to be. Ultimately, I'm still enjoying the game, so I'll continue to play it until the day comes when that's no longer the case. Oh, and I wanted to explain the 12 days of YouTube. So for the next 11 days since we're starting today, I'll be posting a new YouTube video every single day. The next few videos will include a deep dive into everything that we know about Alliance Wars so far, including a few small leaks, a video about the various sponsors for this channel, which will include tons of really hype giveaways for you guys to win, and a video unlike any that I've made so far, and I'll leave it at that. So if you want to suggest a topic for a video, I don't yet have them all planned out, so you can swing by my Twitch channel. I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's over at twitch.tv/Khasino, and you can let me know what topic you want me to make a video on. Oh, and I will be giving away $10 worth of power cores with each video, including this one. So leave a comment below and let me know which character you would most want to get at 7 red stars, and you'll have a chance to win $10 worth of power cores. It's that easy. So good luck, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace!